Hello, Oracles. Wow, we've got a lot to go over today. Lots of news, maybe some rumors. Elon speaking at the World Government Summit. We've got news about Giga Mexico maybe coming out. We've got news about Giga New York potentially unionizing. We've got China insured vehicle numbers that are out, and lots more to go over. And we will get into all of that in just a minute. All right, so first things first, jumping into the charts, we are looking at Tesla up just over 0.5% pre market right now. We saw that 7.5% run yesterday. So, again, significantly outperforming the market. Even right now, pre market, all the indices are red, but Tesla is green. So, we are looking at this pattern here. We talked about it on the live stream last night. Again, this cup and handle pattern is forming, and we're kind of at that handle right now. So what I'm looking at is this 213 level up here. So we bounced off of it once last week. We're pushing up again right now. Can we break this level? If not, this might be what ends up causing us to pull down, just like that 313 level. So again, this is just a matter of paying attention to seeing what's going on. Obviously, nobody knows what's going to happen in the future, but seeing as patterns have kind of repeated themselves in history, this is a pattern I am tracking at the moment. And so when we start looking at different things that can be moving us in one direction or the other, sometimes it's disconnected. So sometimes we see great fundamentals and news coming out of Tesla, but the macro environment is not very good. So Tesla may run a little bit as it is, and then sometimes snaps back into place and sometimes overreacts in both directions. So we're going to go over some of the Tesla news that we just got recently. Some good news, some rumors, some awesome stuff. It's all really good stuff coming out of Tesla right now. So this is probably why we are seeing a bit of the run that we've been seeing lately. And so one thing we did see last night was Elon donating $1.9 billion worth of Tesla stock to charity. So that's 11.6 million shares that Elon had donated between August 12th and December 27th. Now, the charity that it was donated to was not disclosed. I did ask and try to find out, how does that affect the stock price itself? Is that something that maybe caused part of the sell off last year? But it is not. So those donated shares get donated. That is it. There's no movement unless that charity and organization then sells off those shares. I do not know if that charity needs to disclose that information or not either. If you guys know, please share in the comments. But Elon donating those shares is not what would have caused any part of the sell off last year unless that charity themselves ended up selling. And so going over to China, looks like we got those insured numbers in yesterday. So it looks like we had 6,963 units getting insured between February 6th and February 12th. The week prior to that was 8,643. So a little downtick over there. And as Karav here pointed out, Giga Shanghai is still exporting right now. So we can see Wuhua here showing a port packed. So there's a lot of exports going on with China. That could be a reason why we saw a lot less domestic insured vehicles. And don't forget, in the first half of a quarter, they usually focus more on exports than on domestic deliveries. So we should see these numbers ticking up in the second half of this month. Now, other news that we had coming out, we've got Mexico's top diplomat says they met with Tesla brass and good news is imminent. So it sounds like that maybe they have come to some sort of an agreement. We know that just a few days ago, the Mexican president said that they were in talks with Tesla, trying to decide on which location to go with. But it didn't seem like that talk was very far along. Looks like they still had some, things to hash out. Maybe they have hashed them out that quickly. Maybe the decision has already been made and they will be giving us that news very soon. Now, granted, we don't know when soon is. Perhaps we find out that information on Investor Day. On the live stream last night, we were discussing what vehicle will they be producing over there. Being in the closer proximity to Austin, with Austin still ramping the Model Y, doesn't make any sense for them to be ramping a Model Y in Mexico as well. Are they going to be doing a compact car there? That was a question that we had. Maybe they're going to do the Model 3 in Mexico, and that's what they're going to do over there and kind of offset some of the things from Fremont. Again, I don't know if this is going to be the Project Highland build that's coming in Mexico and they're going to start from there. I have a feeling that Mexico is going to be based on the Gen 3 platform, but what vehicles are going to be coming on that Gen 3 platform? That I don't know, but again, if that is what plays out, we may end up hearing about this at Investor Day. And we also got news yesterday about the New York Gigafactory in Buffalo wanting to unionize. So more specifics on that. It is the auto labeling team there that is looking to unionize. And so this is just a small portion of the team that is over there. Now, Tesla has faced unionization in the past. Over in Fremont, they tried to do it over there. They were not successful. So we will just keep our eye on this one to see what happens. As far as how it's going to affect the company and financials, that small amount, if they do end up unionizing, isn't going to make a major difference over there. However, that could be that spark that kind of causes a ripple effect in other factories. Again, just something to pay attention to. There's a lot of different factors that are involved in this. And again, to start with, it's not anything major, but something to just keep our eye on. And we also heard yesterday in a lot of these 13F filings that have been coming out for all of these funds who are making purchases back at the end of Q4, looks like the billionaire George Soros bought 232,000 shares of Tesla stock during Q4 in that 13F filing. So we've been seeing a lot of these filings coming out recently. We saw Vanguard, BlackRock, now the Soros Fund. A lot of these companies out here were buying heavily at the end of Q4. Now, I was also speaking on the live stream about it, and Karav mentioned to me that that 101 level was actually in January. So I'm wondering if there's a lot of other funds that came in and bought in Q1 early on. We might see those filings coming in Q2. We'll pay attention to see what's going on there. But based upon what we had seen at the end of Q4, looks like Berkshire Hathaway did not buy any Tesla stock, if anyone was curious. But again, that price coming down to 101 earlier in the year here might actually mean that perhaps they bought at that 101 level. Again, we will just have to wait until the Q2 filings to see if that ended up happening. And with all of that running going on in the stock recently, looks like shorts have lost $7.3 billion over the last month. Now, again, this year is going to be swinging up and down. So perhaps we end up coming down, shorts win the next round, and they end up getting back to break even. But that's just kind of how this year has played out so far. We will see if we continue this run. Again, that 213 level is what I am paying attention to now to see if we can break past that and burn those shorts a little bit more. And then we've got Hiromichi Mizuno coming out, a board member for Tesla, explaining what is going on and what Tesla's competition truly is.
As we prepare to hear from Elon later on in the week, I just wanted to get your take on what's happening over at Tesla. Obviously, a business that's faced significant challenges in its scale up, particularly when it comes to production, intensifying competition, not to mention other issues like regulation, for example, in the markets that you sell into and operate in. Critics would also say that Elon, in a way, is also facing additional pressure because he's stretched. People say that he's distracted. How do you react to that? How do you respond to that? And how is he doing? It's it's really a question whether he's a human or alien, but he seems to have an incredible bandwidth of his work. So I just commented. You can ask him directly. But one of the things I just wanted to mention is like Tesla has been pushing the regulator very hard, and then we got a lot of pushback. And some of our approach has not been very conventional, so we create a lot of debate and controversy. But I think it's also reflect that the urge we are feeling, so we don't care about the competition really because we are basically competing against the internal combustion engine. So we just need to, we have like another 80+% of the global car sales are still not these. So we are kind of competing against them. So we welcome all the competitors to come in to introduce our cars. And I disagree whenever Elon says, I don't mind the Tesla getting, getting into bankruptcy if somebody else come up with a better car, which I disagree. But I think that's the kind of like, his philosophy and Tesla's philosophy. We really wanted to shift the whole system or the transportation to sustainable, the energy system.
So as a board, you don't think he's too stretched?
I'm not going to comment on that.
And so, as we see here, the board members, even though they do disagree with Elon on some things, they're saying that competition is not EVs. They want more competition to come. The competition is truly ICE vehicles, and there is still 80% of that market out there for them to get into. Now, as he disagreed here with Elon, Elon says, doesn't care if Tesla goes bankrupt in creating all of this, as long as the world is transitioning over to renewable energy and EVs, that's all that matters. Obviously, the board members like, well, we don't want the company to go under in the process. But that is Elon's mentality. And that is why he is pushing so strongly for everything moving forward. And again, that's why he wants the competition. The more people out there helping making this transition happen, the faster it is going to happen. So again, I have no doubt we're going to hear a lot about that on Investor Day on March 1st. And Elon did share at the World Government Summit himself, discussing Twitter, and in discussing Twitter, sharing with them why he is doing this. And he just reiterated that this is going to be the platform for that, town square for people to come out and truly voice their opinions. And he encourages other CEOs, world leaders to come out onto Twitter and speak their voices authentically, not coming out there and saying what they think people want to hear, speaking how people want to hear them think, but speaking genuinely and authentically from themselves. It's very important. We see Elon clearly doing this the way he does it. So many people are, having their feathers ruffled because of how Elon speaks, but that's authentically him. And he is encouraging people by leading with his actions to do just the same. We have been seeing more of that. Jim Farley's been coming out kind of being more vocal himself. So Elon's contagious personality is starting to show other people that, hey, I am being authentically me. I am being very successful in doing this. I encourage you guys to do the same. And we're starting to see others do that as well. Again, a long road to go on here to get other people to do this, but now he's speaking on a global platform to all of these world leaders to encourage them to do the same. We will wait and see how this all plays out. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Lots of great news, lots of rumors. You guys can let me know what you think about Giga Mexico. Do you think they're going to be producing the compact car there? Do you think it's going to be for the Gen 3 platform for other vehicles? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know your thoughts on where you think the stock price is going to be going by the end of the week. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.